Since 1921, a local nonprofit has been a beacon of light to families in need within Polk County. Their main focus in our community is to help families with children regain their independence. With the holidays quickly approaching, they could use your help. Their story is coming up on Polk Place. Hello and welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Dion Spires. Today I've got Major Ken Morris, the Corps Officer for Salvation Army in Lakeland and West Polk County, here in the studio with me. How are you doing today?
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Good. Glad to have you here. Today we're talking about the holiday efforts for the Salvation Army, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But for the audience, most people know what it is, but let's have a little summary of what the Salvation Army is and what you guys do on a regular basis.
Well, we're an international organization. We are also a church. We were founded in London, England in 1865. William Booth was our founder. He was a Methodist, and he saw people living on the streets, under the bridge. People were having trouble with alcohol, and so he thought, well, we need to do something. And so since then, it's spread around the world, and we've been in the States since 1890. Actually been in West Polk County, as you mentioned, since 1921. Florida celebrates 125 years next year. We'll be celebrating 100 years in Polk County in about 6 years. But yes, we've been here. We're mainly here to take care of basic human needs. And in Florida and Lakeland, we're thrilled with the fact that we can help families and even have residents, and our brand new project to help even more families get back on their feet again.
That's awesome. So we've all seen the red buckets around the holidays.
That's right.
So let's start off with that since we've got it right here. Tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing with the red buckets this year for the holidays.
Well, this is our largest fundraiser for the year. It will take care of our Christmas needs first, and then we trust that it will also have some funds to help us with additional services throughout the year. Now, last year at Christmas time, we gave out toys. Now, again, our residents, we have about a little over 70 children now living with us in our apartments and in our shelter. But besides that, other folks across Polk, we deal with West Polk County and Lakeland. They come, they register, we look at their income and expense, and for those who are eligible, and most of them are, we will help them with toys and also with food, and we also give out food at Thanksgiving. Last year, we ended up giving toys to 3,949 children, and that involved 1,100 families. And so this year, we've just finished our screening process. We're available for referrals of emergencies to squeeze a few more folks in, but we're basically through that process. Now we need the funds to take care of the toys and to take care of any other Christmas needs, and also to help us through the next year with all of our ongoing services.
That's a fantastic cause, because the holidays, I feel no family should go without even just a little bit of something to bring joy to those kids and everything, because Christmas should be exciting for them, you know.
That's right. And again, many of these families, they're struggling just to pay for food or for their light bill or for their rent. And so if we can help them with the toys to make sure that each child up to age 14 gets a good toy, we're glad to do that. And we're glad the way the community yearly helps us out. In fact, last year, with just the bell ringing, now we have other fundraisers going on as well, but with just the bell ringing, we brought in $177,984. That's a pretty good chunk of change for people putting change and bills in there. This year, our goal is $187,000, which would be almost about a 5% increase. But again, we trust that the need is still there, if not growing. And again, we now have more residents that we're helping throughout the year as well.
Now, where are you guys going to have the buckets located at in Polk County?
We're very appreciative of the roughly 30 locations, different stores. We have Publix, we have Kmart, we have Winn-Dixie, we have Walmarts, 4 different Walmarts, and it's very nice of those stores to let us stand in front of their store. Hobby Lobby, a few others that I may have forgotten to mention, but again, about 30 across the region.
Wow, so there's plenty of opportunities to give, definitely.
That's right, and we need volunteers to ring the bell too.
Okay.
Because again, you know, we don't just leave them out there unmanned.
Yeah.
And again, we start, our kickoff will be on November 20th with the bell ringing, and at Lakeside Village we have the special Santa Claus kickoff, and then from there on, not on Sunday, but 6 days a week from 10 in the morning until 8 at night. Our goal is to have all 30 of those spots manned so that we can bring in the funds.
And how can a volunteer get involved with that if they want to ring the bell?
They can just call our main office, 863-853-2214, and mention that they want to sign up to volunteer to bell ring, and they can immediately get that information and lock them in. We can say, well, what site would you like? And we can pull up that day. Some folks do a few hours. We have churches who take some of our sites for the whole season, and we're very happy. Victory Church is actually one of our top bell ringers, and they take a site for the whole season. The Presbyterian Church takes a site. There are other churches, different civic clubs, Rotary, Kiwanis. They'll take a site and cover it throughout the whole season. And we hope that more will call in and take a whole season, or a half a day, or 1 day, or a few days, whatever.
Every little bit helps.
That's right.
Now, I was looking on your website, and I don't know if this benefits Polk County directly or not, but do you guys have, it's an online bucket as well where you can donate online if you can't?
There are a number of ways you can
like
donate online. We're actually working with a new app with mobile. We haven't quite got it worked out yet, where people can actually just put an app on their phone and donate. But we're still getting those details worked out. But there is if you go to our website, there is actually a kettle like that, which you can just hit on that link, and then you can do it online. You can also call 1-800-SAL-ARMY and donate online. And those credit cards go right to us, and they're right here local to help people in this area.
Excellent. Now, you guys, aside from the bucket, have a couple other services going on through the holidays, one of them being the Angel Tree. Tell me a little bit about that one.
Well, of all those folks that came in and asked for help, we asked them to give us a wish list. Now, we told them to be reasonable because we can't give out, huge gifts. But of these wish lists, we have those available, and the names are all kept confidential. But we have a numeric system or some type of a code system set up. My wife handles it. And we have an angel tree at the mall. It'll be going up on November 16th, Lakeland Square Mall. You can come to this tree, look for a card, whether it be a boy or a girl, a particular age if you want. You pull the card, and it'll have on there some of those things that they're wishing for. And you can actually buy a gift for this particular child. And you can get, a number of children. If you want to do a larger group, like 20 or 30 or 40 or even 100, you'll need to call our office, and we can arrange for you to get angels there as well. But the more toys that are donated, and again, it's brand new. We don't want to use toys. We can handle those in our thrift store. But as far as Christmas, it's new toys. And if you want to do an angel, just call our main office or go to the mall. And then that even helps so that the funds can be used for other toys or for other services throughout the year.
What a great way to give back.
It's wonderful, yeah.
Now, you have a brand new project, if I'm not mistaken, that's in the works right now. What is that big project for you guys?
Well, we finished the first phase. It's going to go on for a number of years, but the community has wonderfully come through to help us with our first phase of a building project. We secured land. We actually have built downtown. We were downtown for about 25 years, and it was okay, but we kind of outgrew that area, and it wasn't the best environment for the children particularly. And so we've let Talbot and Lighthouse take care of single men, single women. We're focused on families. And we went from 12 apartments to 21 apartments. We actually have 7 triplexes and a brand new shelter. Well, even in the shelter, used to be the men's side, women's side. In our new shelter, it's like state of the art, where we have small efficiency rooms, where they have a small kitchenette and they can eat and live as a family there, even in the shelter. Shelters for short term. The apartments, they pay a small program fee. We monitor them, but they can stay up to 2 years. And even now, we've got a few who are moving out, so others can move in. And our shelter remains full, and our apartments are filling up as well. And so again, we went from 12 to 21. We've got 49 acres, maybe even further expansion down the road. Our next plan, we're working on a possible warehouse. We're working on also a community center. A few years down the road, we'll start raising money to build a new community center and actually relocate where we are down the street so that we'll have everything on the same property. So the community has come through in a wonderful way. We're thrilled with the way this new property's worked out. We moved everybody over. We had the dedication in February. We moved over in March, and we've been there for about 8 months now, and we're thrilled with the way it's got the housing, and it's got the shelter, the apartments, the shelter, and a state-of-the-art child care, which actually can hold around 100 children. And we actually have a little over 70 right now. But it's state-of-the-art certified child care there, so that when the parents are out looking for work or working, we can have the child care going on. We bus the kids to school and back, and then we have tutoring where they help them with their homework up to 5:30. with, again, certified teachers. Wow. So again, we did it on a smaller scale downtown, which we called the Center of Hope, and now we're on the George W. Jenkins Community of Hope. And Publix, again, that name, the founder, they've been very instrumental in getting some of our donations, and they also help us out at Christmas time. And so we're glad to have this continued using their name, and they continue to work with us in many different sources, as well as raising money for that project. And again, there's no mortgage. There's a smart little short-term loan that's only down to about $60,000, and we'll have that paid off probably within the month. So again, no mortgage, it's fully paid for, and we'll run this for a couple of years, and then we'll start on the next phase. And so we're really excited about the expansion of the Salvation Army through their 10-year strategic plan as they move into the future.
Yeah, that sounds like a great project. Now, you said that it's funded by donations, or it's funded by...
The project?
Yeah, the project.
Well, again, we had the capital campaign, but as far as operating expenses, the United Way helps us some. We do get some money from the government that sponsor 8 of the apartments. Other folks give us donations on a monthly basis. And then the people in the apartments, they won't pay any more than 30% of their income. We track their income, we track their savings, and as long as they follow the rules, if they get through the program early, that's great. If not, they have 2 years. We have life skill classes that help them get them back on their feet again. And again, over the last 25 years in this transitional housing, which we call Family Living Center, we've had a success rate, thanks to God's help, of over 80%. And so if you get to about 40%, you're doing good. Yeah. But to be over 80%, we must be doing something right. And so that's why we went from 12 to 21. And again, with these life skill classes, we're teaching them how to cook, we're teaching them how to be parents, we're teaching them anger management, we're teaching them mental health skills, we're teaching them how to prepare for an interview. We're teaching them all different skills where, again, the longer they stay, the more they learn, so they have a better chance of being successful in their own home, paying their rent or owning, keeping a job, and being a successful citizen.
And if someone is in need and they're looking into trying to get into your housing or something of that nature, is there an application process?
With the shelter, you just need to show up. The police can take you there. We have our staff there during the day. We have a security company that handles it during the night. It does remain full. But again, as people, they have to have a job within 2 weeks, and then they can get an extension up to 90 days. But every 2 weeks, we look at how they're looking for housing, how they're doing on their job. But the first 2 weeks, no questions asked. As long as it's a parent with a child that, again, they're responsible for, and the space, we can move them in. Now, as far as the apartments, there is a application process. They need to call and get the forms filled out, and then they come to a group. There's a board that meets and looks at all the applicants and then picks the best applicants. And there are always more applicants than rooms. It's a shame. Some folks are able to go from the shelter into the apartments, but again, the apartments are staying full too, so it's kind of hard. But again, maybe down the road we have room to actually build more apartments if the funds become available. But again, with our 49 acres. But right now we've got 21, and they're staying pretty full, and again, the shelter as well.
Well, between all of those services and your holiday efforts, you guys are certainly doing a great deed for the community and really helping people out. I think it's a great thing you guys have here.
Well, I love being here. I've been here for 2.5 years, but I've been very proud of our advisory board and our staff and the foundation that's been built up over these years. And we have our strategic planning set up, and we trust that we can continue to move forward in advancement into the future. Thank you.
I really appreciate you being here. I wish you guys all the luck with your fundraising efforts and everything this holiday season.
Well, thank you very much. It's a privilege to be able to serve in this way.
The Salvation Army offers many programs to those in need, including family, youth, and outreach programs, along with holiday assistance. There are many ways you can give back to the nonprofit organization, helping those who need it most. Whether it's giving of your resources or your time, the Salvation Army could use your help. With their main campus located at 2620 Kathleen Road in Lakeland, the Salvation Army has locations throughout Lakeland and is helping make a difference in the Polk County community. For more information on how you can help make a difference, give them a call at 863-853-2214 or look them up on the web at www.salvationarmyflorida.org/Lakeland.